Once we get the hang of slaloms, let's move on to half swizzle pumps on a circle. With our slaloms, we are on a flat and an inside edge. Now I'm gonna have you show me your home base posture again and shift side to side. So I want your feet under your hips, 1 foot on an outside edge and 1 foot on an inside edge. We're just gonna lean our ankles and our blade, bend our ankles and our knees, all while keeping our belly button forward and our gaze forwards. Let's move on to half swizzle pumps on a circle. So we keep getting closer and closer to our crossovers. Before we start half swizzle pumps on a circle, we're going to talk about our edges again. With our slaloms, we are on a flat and an inside edge. Now I'm going to have you show me your home base posture again and shift side to side. So I want your feet under your hips, 1 foot on an outside edge and 1 foot on an inside edge. We're just gonna lean our ankles and our blade, bend our ankles and our knees, all while keeping our belly button forward and our gaze forwards. So this becomes really important because on crossovers and half swizzle pumps on the circle, it is important to lean into the circle. So if you look at my hips below, I am leaning on an outside edge. So think of an analogy. So if you compare a circle to an upside down ice cream cone, you want to think about getting onto that slant. As you get more advanced, that slant and that lean will get deeper and deeper. That's how we increase power and speed in figure skating and hockey. This becomes really important because on crossovers and half swizzle pumps on the circle, it is important to lean into the circle. So if you look at my hips below, I am leaning on an outside edge. We're gonna go to our circle. I think these lines on the ice really help. I'm just gonna get my hip over my foot, which is over the red line. And then try to pump forward. So I'm hugging my circle, bend. I'm in my 45-degree angle position again. Bend, pump, and rise. Bend, pump, and rise. With these half swizzle pumps, I have my front arm slightly lower than my back arm. So we're going to talk about a checked upper body position. My chest is facing inside the circle. My back arm is pulled behind me like this. So you can think about these ribs pulling apart to stay behind. That's going to be our checked position. So the more I maintain this, it'll make it easier to maintain my circle. The moment my shoulders start to creep up, it makes it hard to keep your edge. So remember to keep pulling your shoulder back. Front arm is slightly lower. Keep maintaining your lean. It's also very common to start pushing, start with the lean, and start to back away as you rise up. What happens is you start to go off onto a straight line and you lose your edge. So with crossovers and half swizzle pumps, keep leaning, keep your hips engaged. That way you can keep staying on the circle. So a good goal is to pump for about 6 to 8 half swizzle pumps in a row. Keep aiming for a glide in between. Keep increasing the speed. And as you pump, remember to keep your whole blade on the ice. That's another common thing I see is once we start pumping, we pump, but we don't exactly have our whole blade on the ice. So keep your whole blade on the ice, even though you are pumping with the back of your blade, just like swizzles and half swizzles on a straight line. That way you keep progressing. We're gonna keep this lean. I have some weight on my front foot. I have some weight on my frozen foot, but I'm still pumping and pressing with this foot. I'm still staggered because I'm prepping for a future crossover. And something that can also help if you're having trouble with finding that lean is placing your hand on your hip. That just builds some awareness. That way you can keep maintaining that lean. So hand on your hip. As you get more comfortable, keep leaning into the circle, keep bending the stationary leg. The more you bend and press into that front ankle, the stronger and more secure your half swizzle pumps will be. Another trick I have to find your alignment and your upper body posture on crossovers and half swizzle pumps is to face your feet into the red dot. So my feet are facing the red dots. I'm gonna turn my feet to the side, lift my back arm, and that's where I'm gonna be for crossovers and half swizzle pump. My chest is slightly faced into the circle, my eyes are forward, my front hand is also slightly into the circle and lower as well.